Tom Silver.
Yes, and we are live.
The show has started, Mr. Tom Silver.
What? Who's
Mr.
talking?
Tom Silver, the show has started. Come on.
Are you serious?
Yeah, come on.
No, it's okay. This
All
is
right. All
fun
right.
and casual day
Oh,
out
sorry.
for all of us.
I was just playing a
Wow,
little bit of jazz,
Oh,
it's okay.
you were testing your lungs?
testing my lungs because I don't have tobacco to
Oh, that,
affect my breathing and my respiratory system and everything else negative. I don't have COP. I don't have to wear a tank because if I did, because I was a smoker, a full time smoker, I'd never be able to play the saxophone. You guys?
yes,
Yes,
yes.
that's why
I
we
am so
have
glad that today is World No Tobacco Day.
Absolutely. 31st May is World No Tobacco Day.
yeah. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or wherever you are. And today we are here with Tom Silver and Julian Lester to celebrate a what do you call it?
World
No
No Tobacco
tobacco
Day. Day.
World No Tobacco Day. And is this just one day in every year?
Yes.
Yeah. And we have this theme. One learn what basically is 1, 2, 3, quit smoking and vaping now. And why are we talking about all this today? Is because we want to protect children, our loved ones from the tobacco industry interference. In fact, the problem is actually more serious than we all know. And for our guests who are listening in on YouTube, on Facebook, and multiple platforms right now, who are Tom Silver and Julian Lester. Basically, let me share a bit. Okay, I met both these two gentlemen, young gentlemen, last year in person. Tom flew all the way from US. I think you had a marathon tour, right, for your
Yes, I had a
hypnotherapy
world
training.
tour. Yes.
Yes, and I was also fortunate to be one of the students and practitioners. Yeah, and basically, let's talk about Tom. Tom is actually a very, very world famous hypnotherapist. He has over 35 years old, 35 years of experience. I think it's more, right? I think you actually
30,
have more than that.
just about 38 or 39 years in the field of
Yeah,
scientific
39 years
hypnosis.
of experience. Yeah. And what Tom Silver has done is that he has developed and applied scientifically based hypnotherapy methods. He specializes in EEG, neuro scientific hypnosis, and emotion replacement therapy, ERT. I know it's a lot of words. So basically, I was there in person when Tom was here, and we went through many days of hardcore hands-on practice and even had the what do you call it, the ERT machine, oh no,
EG.
Yes.
the EEG machine on my head, and I saw up close and personal how our thoughts and emotions can influence our minds and actions and our patterns. Yeah. And short short story over. Basically, I would say Thomas Silver is instrumental in helping many people around the world, including places like China, where he doesn't speak Chinese, to change their lives, improve their thought patterns, and basically undergo real transformation. That's Tom Silver. Okay.
Thanks.
And for Julian, I've known you for how many years?
About 10, 15 years.
10, 15 years?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And basically, when we ask who is Julian, do you see a t-shirt on the screen? It says Secret Slayer. Yeah, and he has books. He has won uh, what was that? Is it a
Got a
Guinness Book of
Blue
Records or
Ribbon
something?
Award of Excellence by the Minister of Health.
Yes. And basically, he's based in Malaysia, and he is has a very strong background in hypnotherapy. He also operates the hypno station, and he is well trained in multiple techniques or methods of hypnotherapy. And basically, he has also done, I would say, gone the whole route just as Tom, and changed many lives, changed many patterns, and notably, he's also renowned for no smoking. In fact, Julian has something to show all of us tonight, right? And so, maybe Tom or Julian, you want to share something?
Yes,
You start, Julian.
today, World No Tobacco Day. We're going to share a message. I'm from the East. Tom,
I'm from the West.
from the East to the
West.
we are going to spread this message all across the world that
That you don't have to smoke.
you can be free and you can be the cigarette slayer.
Wait a minute.
Amazing.
You're the cigarette slayer, Julian.
Yes, but we are going to make people the cigarette slayer too.
I love that.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why keep it to myself? Let's
Yeah.
share it.
We're here to teach people and
Yes.
educate people and motivate people to never put that tobacco or that cigarette in your mouth ever. You don't need it in your life.
Yes. And to quit smoking is not difficult. What we want to let you know is many people have there are many methods out there, and they're all good, but they need positioning, and you need someone to tell you. And so, what is more important is not to it's prevention rather than just this cure. Yes, especially our young youths today who are exposed to all kinds of cunning interference by the secret media, by the promotions, by all kinds of elements out there, knowingly and unknowingly, and led towards smoking and vaping. And vaping too is really dangerous. Don't say it's an alternative to smoking. Yes. Today, Tom and I are going to teach you there is another way to breathe, and that is the original way of breathing, breathing fresh air only. What do you say,
That
Tom?
sounds
I
amazing.
agree. Some people have switched from cigarettes to vaping, and vaping still has the nicotine in it, of course, which is carcinogenic, can create cancer and negative side effects. But vaping also has lots of chemicals and other addictive, dependent chemicals that could be dangerous and detrimental to your health and well being. And if you notice, Julian, that the people that switched from cigarettes to vaping
Yeah.
have not stopped vaping. They're still vaping because it is an emotional attachment, a chemical attachment, psychological attachment, sociological attachment. And with the young people, the young kids around the world think their fellow children or young adults or their friends, they glorify vaping as though it's something cool. And really, the thing is, what's really cool is not putting poisonous smoke in your body. What's really cool is being free of tobacco and free of nicotine. What's really cool is making something very special of your life. So when you get older and you grow up or you're an adult, you don't have to go through all of that poisonous toxicity in your body that will deplete your health, your happiness, your longevity, and quality of life. Right, Julian?
Yes, absolutely. You see, while we are in an age of gadget base, and the cigarette and the industry knows very well that they've switched to electronics from the old-fashioned cigarette. I'm going to show you what Caroline said. You know, the cigarette that has become a
Oh,
yes, this big cigarette
That's
here.
a big cigarette.
that's huge.
Yeah, it has become a bit old-fashioned now because there's vaping, there's e-cigarette, and what is amazing is we don't know what is inside those liquids, and it's very unsupervised. And so, while we are saying this is replacing the tobacco leaf type of cigarettes, yes, we also have to become aware no matter what, our lungs have no replacement. You can if you lose a hand, you got a plastic hand. If you lose your leg, you got a plastic leg. You, we have today heart replacement, kidney replacement, eye replacement. Have you heard of a lung replacement? And that's where you don't want to life is about oxygen, and if you don't have that breath, then life is going to go. And so having breathing is a very important part of the human life. And and you're going to disturb that mechanism in our body, then you're asking a lot of difficulty in your life. You won't have stamina. You can't play the game. Youngsters, why you like running? You like doing all those sporting events, and can you imagine your lungs can't do that for you? It's a shame, yeah. So, Tom, go ahead.
Yeah, and since today is World No Tobacco Day, our goals are to motivate you, stimulate you to realize that your life, your health, uh, will give you the best life you could have. So why
Yep.
switch that to vaping or smoking cigarettes, which also swells your brain tissue, blocks your arteries, can create a stroke and a heart attack later. And it's interesting because you and I, Julian, we work with a lot of people in our hypnotherapy
Yes,
practices. And I have people that have come to me, and I know people personally who have stopped smoking maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago. And that toxicity, the toxins, the chemicals from the vaping, from the cigarette filter, from the tobacco, the nicotine, um, those toxic chemicals still stayed in their body and they developed lung cancer. I had two parents, my mother and father, they died horrible deaths because they were smoking cigarettes and they didn't realize the repercussions of the future. You have a lot to live for. Every one of you, your children have a lot to live for. They deserve to have a great, long, happy life. And
and
if you
Tom,
even throw away your cigarettes as adults, or get rid of that vaping, or don't hang around as young kids and teenagers. I didn't hang around the people that smoke cigarettes, and it's better not to hang around those people because you don't want to be influenced by negatives. You want to be influenced by health, by happiness, by success, by education, to be the best that you can be. Right, Julian?
well,
Yeah.
Tom, just to let you know, I have one of the reasons why I became the cigarette slayer is I ruined my sporting career because of smoking, and I developed asthma when I was young. So, so, so I can tell you, it's no fun when you're just sipping air and you can't breathe and you just can't run. Yes, and so youngsters out there today, don't do this thing which a lot of people do. If it feels good, just do it. Have one finger on the brakes. Whenever you're going downhill with a bicycle, you always have one finger on the brakes because you don't want to go and crash. Likewise, when you are people who smoke and you have never smoked before, have this one finger in your brake. This finger is going to press that panic button in your mind to say, look, I don't need to be with them. I don't need to follow those habits of smoking because
It's like a peer culture, right? In
yes,
some sense.
it's always been a peer culture because you see a lot of people don't know that cigarette how much to cigarette you may look at it and say, oh, it's a lot of tobacco here, but actually it's a very little tobacco because the most of it is all artificial stuff up there, and these are the ones that are the poison stuff,
I
and
see.
and so we have to be very aware that today also we are looking at so many forms of cigarettes. There's also the what the drugs that are coming into, through vaping devices, the liquids, and like that's why I said the word is unsupervised. I was at the hospital the other day, and I saw so many youngsters. Some of them are in ventilators because of vaping. So, so don't think vaping is not dangerous. I could say it's even more. You know.
Yeah. And the fact is, vaping um, will give you lung cancer. Vaping will lower your energy. You won't be able to breathe natural air because you're polluting your oxygen. And think about how oxygen brings life to everything on this earth and our planet. Without pure, good oxygen, trees wouldn't grow, fruit wouldn't grow,
Oh dear.
grass wouldn't grow. Without oxygen, animals couldn't live. See, we Oxygen is what we need for survival. But when you pollute the oxygen, you're polluting your inner earth. You're polluting everything within your own solar system. And my motto today for World No Smoking and No Tobacco is I don't smoke. I don't vape. I don't vape. I don't smoke. No matter what, I don't vape. You don't want to be bullied, manipulated by any friends that it's cool, because it's not cool. Being cool is being free of all tobacco, all nicotine. No matter what, I don't vape. If you say that every day, no matter what, I don't vape, no
I
matter
don't
what,
vape.
I don't smoke,
I
I
don't
don't wait.
vape.
then you are free. And you know what? The people that vape, the kids that vape and that smoke, when they see you are not getting into their influence, they respect you more.
And
They
I got to
actually
share it.
rely on
And I
you
got,
more. And the interesting thing, and it just ran across, that Singapore has made it illegal to vape. I think
yeah,
it was for
Yes.
6 years or something. Why did they do that? Because all the doctors, all the medical people know that vaping will give you cancer and a lot of other carcinogenics, including sugar addiction. Because in that vape, in that stuff you're breathing in, there is also a form of sugar and other toxic chemicals. No matter what, I don't vape. Julian?
and uh, some years ago, we used to do this campaign called "Don't Just Quit It, Crush It." So it is our responsibility not only just to quit smoking, but also join the groups, the movement towards crushing it. Because this habit has to go. The human race doesn't need to be a, a addicted race, and it's very important to tell this to your children, that make them the new generation of kids who don't smoke, don't do vaping, don't do drugs, that they become the brand new generation that doesn't need to have something in their mouth, and they can breathe fresh air.
Yeah. And parents, you are such an influence to your children. So if you vape and you smoke, or you create reasons to, well, I'm stressed. Well, if you're stressed, well, do some relaxation techniques, have a little exercise, do a little natural air breathing, and that'll remove the stress. But you are influencing your children to be healthy or to be sick, to live a good life or to live a bad, painful life.
But the
And
question I'm curious is how does smoking or vaping gets how does it start? How do people even get into it in the first place?
okay, well, I'll start and then I'll give it to Julia next.
Okay.
Many people are what we call identification smokers and vapors. They're smoking and vaping, the kids and adults, because other people think it's cool. People, friend pressure, oh, go ahead, just have some. It's really good. So they get pressured into it. In the old days in America, there were commercials everywhere, and commercials increase subconscious psychological influence. So when people used to see those commercials or the tobacco ads in the newspapers and things, they were putting messages into someone's mind that cigarettes are cool and it's something you should do. But now, as we see, the tobacco companies have other ways of manipulating and influencing the adults and the young children to start smoking. Plus, as parents, both of my parents smoked. I had a brother then that started smoking. He died of a heart attack at 44 years old. My brother
Okay.
Lee died of a heart attack at 44 years old because he continued to smoke, and his arteries built up this plaque, this black substance, and sooner and then after a little while, his arteries in the blood couldn't circulate, and he died of a massive heart attack. And that was directly related to cigarette smoking. And vaping now, well, they're finding that vaping and using drugs like marijuana are now causing cancer. And The medical field, it's a great field, and I love the hospitals and doctors, but they make a lot of money off of people getting sick, Julian. You know that.
Yeah.
And cancer and medicine and chemotherapy and things like that. I'm not saying anything negative about the societies and the medical field. I love the medical field. But the fact is, there should be more awareness of the dangers and the deadly repercussion in your future if you vape and smoke. Julian?
Yes,
How are the companies, the tobacco companies, are they like playing a role in contributing to this culture?
of course,
Julian?
of course. If you if you look over the years, we
Mm-hmm.
would have seen, especially I've been following the World No Tobacco Day with the different themes that WHO has had over the years. There were years where interference with government, then this year's then interference with gender, interference with children this year again, you know, and so there has been a lot of subtle interference. If you look at even in our country, 20 years ago there used to be a lot of advertisement in the television, billboards. Today there's hardly anything there. It seems like they went stand still. Nothing has happened at all. We wonder what has happened to any health promotion. It's gone. Because why? There's been a lot of policies. There's been lot of curtailment to all this, that you can't do this, you can't do that, this trade, that pack, and also a lot of people don't realize that when you stop smoking, you're doing risk management. I remember I had a client of mine who went to his cardiologist surgeon, and he needed to do a bypass. And you know what his cardio told him? Yes, I'm not going to touch your heart as long as your cigarette is close to your heart, because he had a cigarette packet in his shirt. Yes, and and there was another guy who went to the cardiologist, who was supposed to do a bypass, and the surgeon showed him his X-ray and said, "Look, I'm not going to do any operation on you until you stop smoking." And his X-ray was completely black, his lung, and the guy, that old man, told him, "Doc, you know what? I have stopped smoking 30 years ago. And despite
30
even 30 years ago, his lung is still black." Now, so what you need to understand here is this is not, it's more than just stop smoking. It's also about making sure your body don't go on a risk. What do you say, Tom?
I agree. It's like saying stop smoking and start living. Live life to the
stop
fullest.
smoking, start living. I think it's like,
I had
yeah.
a friend of mine. I used to be in the record business. His name was Jeff Loudon, and he lived in Minneapolis. And so he was smoking, couldn't stop. And I said to Jeff, I said, um, when you're ready to stop smoking, come and see me. So when he came over, he didn't even think it would work or whatever. Um, I hypnotized him. I used hypnotherapy. He stopped smoking. 3 years later, he had a brain tumor, and the surgeons that operated on him to save his life said to Jeff, and this is a fact, this is a medical fact, had you not stopped smoking 3 years earlier, we wouldn't have been able to remove the tumor because your brain had swelled. The brain tissue had swelled up because of you being a smoker. And and these neurologists will not operate on patients that smoke. A lot of medical doctors won't do major surgeries anymore if you're smoking because of the excessive bleeding, the lowering of your immune system, and the more higher percentage of getting an infection. So even the medical science knows that cigarettes and vaping is bad, and every one of you should understand that. What do you want to have in your life? Do you want to have health and happiness, or do you want to have sickness and death? And you can stop anytime you want, and you don't have to start. And we can stop giving these justifications. I'm stressed, or I'm unhappy, or I didn't get a good grade. So then we start using this vaping and the cigarette as a medication, like antidepressants, as a false bandage. But you know what? Once you stop, and if you never start, you will have so much self-respect, you'll have so much happiness, you'll have respect from all the other students and friends, and you know what? You will be an influence so that no other person has to die of cancer or a heart attack because of cigarettes and vaping. So, everyone who stops smoking or vaping, and every one of you who have never done it, and make this pledge today that I will never, ever put a vape in my mouth or a cigarette in my mouth. I make this pledge right now. Make this pledge with me. Lift your hand up and make this pledge and say right now, say it out loud. I give myself permission to never and ever put that poison tobacco or that vaping thing into my mouth ever. I make a decision to trade sickness and death for my health and my happiness in my life and say no, 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 I don't do it. This is really who you are. And make that pledge today because it is World No Tobacco Day. It is World No Nicotine Day. It is World I Want to Live Day.
Yes,
Julian?
yes.
Well, I want to live day. This is powerful.
And I want to share another very important area too, and that is the corporate arena. You see, I've talked to many. This is a message that really all you bosses, CEOs out there, listen to me. You may think that you are doing the smoke-free organization, designated area, but what about smoke-free staff? you know Talk about productivity. If someone smokes a cigarette, he probably needs to go like 5 minutes down the lift, 5 minutes outside to 2 minutes to smoke outside and come back. So imagine if one cigarette is just 10 minutes and you smoke three cigarettes and that's 30 minutes.
Wow.
I have so many working days, so many working weeks. In 1 year, we have done our calculation. It's 15.26 annual working days just to go out there and smoke. So that's a
That's
huge
crazy.
productivity. That's a lot of productivity loss. And you are talking about increasing productivity. You're talking about wellness. You're talking about ESG, the social aspect of it. Now, bosses, start getting serious about clean air environment in your workplace. You can't
Mm.
say it's the government's responsibility. You can't say, it's the staff, their responsibility to quit. 60% of the day, they are in your office. They are putting the mess in your toilet, in your workplace. They are exposing fire audit risk to your workplace, your factory. Accidents are caused because of cigarette. You can't deny it. Open your eyes wide, put some magnifying glass, and look at this fact. For 20 years, I've been talking to all you bosses, and you just push me off. It's time now to get serious and start helping your smokers to have a better life.
You
In
know,
fact, there are a few comments from the viewers, and in fact, this Norman Hassan from Singapore was saying that he used to see a lot of ads in the past. Of course, there's no more. And Jasper Sihu said, "Today we see notices, disclaimers in all movies when it comes to smoking and alcohol." But he asked, "Does that help?"
it does
Earlier, he
help,
also made a comment. Yeah.
but it does help, but it's not enough. It's not
Uh,
enough because when people watch these movies, and I watch movies every single, every day I watch something a little bit because I'm observing the manipulation of the movie industry into getting people to become alcoholics and smokers and other types of negative behaviors. And when you watch these movies, even movies in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, people are smoking cigarettes. So they're still glorifying it as though it's something that makes you a man or a woman or makes you strong or beautiful. And it doesn't. So the manipulation subtly of creating vaping and smoking out there is still running rampant. And these disclaimers are only there because the states or the governments are now enforcing them to finally say something, or they wouldn't. And
Tom, I
most
want
people
to say
not
something
even
here.
read that, that the cigarettes itself can be dangerous. When I was young, it used to say cigarette smoking on a cigarette pack. Cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health.
Yeah,
Now
I
they're
saw them as well.
now it's forced to say premature birth, cancer, and everything else. The tobacco companies are not doing it because they really want you to stop smoking. They're doing it because they're becoming forced to do it by the United States government. And I think it's about time that each and every one of us now start to become no smoking supporters, because smoking, cigarettes, and vaping is the enemy, and we
Mm.
don't make friends with the enemy that's going to kill us. And it's really important to realize, and one of our listeners just said that cigarette butts are polluting our waters. They're
Exactly.
polluting the empty cigarette, the vaping things are polluting our earth. The cigarette smoke is affecting the ozone layers and things like that. So we talk about global warming. Well, smoking cigarettes in some countries, everyone's smoking cigarettes. They're still smoking cigarettes in restaurants in China. So we need to make this a world understanding and a world education and a world commitment to not continue poisoning our earth, our planet, our oxygen, and ourselves and our family. Julian?
Tom, just to add on just now about the movies, yeah. As hypnotherapists, that those disclaimers sometimes we say don't smoke, don't quit smoking, smoke free zones actually have a reverse psychology to increase smoking. When you tell a kid don't touch the TV, guess what they do? They
Hey, touch
touch it. So when you tell somebody don't touch, don't smoke, guess what you do?
They want to touch it.
Smoke.
They want to smoke.
Yeah. So instead of saying no smoking, quit smoking, why not your world class commitment for health focus?
Yeah. I
And
want help.
that's a better subliminal language which is more effective. You know,
Yeah. No matter what, I stay healthy.
yes,
I am healthy.
yes,
I
yes.
will be healthy
Mm.
because I breathe air, clean, natural air. But you're absolutely right, and we call it in the hypnotism field the law
Yeah,
of reverse reaction. Try not to think of a pink elephant or a flower, and you think of it.
yes.
So the fact is, if you want to make this commitment, think about your healthy life. Think about if you have faith in a higher power of God, use that powerful source or the universe. Stay around and be with people that have the same commitment to be healthy. Don't hang around those people or kids that want to do bad things to themselves and others,
And
because
this interference is very
life is
important.
important. Huh?
And you see, sometimes we don't realize all these media slogans, all this words that have been put in campaigns have not been given good thoughts because of the subliminal messaging. I'll give you an example. In Malaysia, we had many years ago this program called Tak Nak. Tak means
Tak nak.
don't. Nak means want. You know,
Don't
Tak,
want.
the word tak means don't want. Yes, made it the Ministry of Health most remembered quit smoking campaign for more than 40 over years. Yes, but na, I remember the media guy told me, na, that means want, increase smoking by many, many times. So it was
Oh,
a very
really?
well balanced smoking. You don't want. So it means don't made it a good health campaign, and one made it a good campaign. And I'll tell you this, when our prime minister at that time launched it, yeah, I remember this saying on that, just very close to that launch, uh, a new packet come out in the market. So very, very, very clear cut that they knew about it. They knew how much that messaging, the marketing people knew about it, that this was going to have a very reverse effect to people. Another thing is people respond to pleasure and avoid pain. There are a lot of cigarette methods used out there to say don't smoke, you'll die or something, you'll be sick or something, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Now, all that are pain in the mind, and people avoid pain to get pleasure. What is still pleasurable is still the cigarette. The cigarette is still pleasurable. The vaping is still pleasurable. So all those people, especially your spouses have told your husband and wife have told your spouse, don't smoke, don't smoke. Guess what? I'm so sorry to say it, you have been encouraging them to smoke. All those bosses who
Well,
said, yeah,
that's because if you vape and you smoke and someone says don't smoke, don't is a weak word. Smoke
yeah,
is a trigger to the emotion. And let's face it, most people are habitual in vaping and smoking because there's a strong emotional attachment. So the most important thing is maybe even say I want health. I want vitality. I want energy. But when you say, no, don't smoke, don't you ever smoke, and then you're setting a bad example for your children because you're smoking or vaping, then you're a hypocrite. You're a liar. And so the key is, and someone said a little message, how can we influence other people? Well, you can have a t-shirt that says healthy life. I love
Healthy.
air. I love
I love
oxygen. We don't have to
all the
focus
positive stuff.
on the words of vaping or smoking or talk about the poison. Let's talk about the benefits. Let's get to the solution. And the solution is health, happiness, and quality in your life. And
Health,
remember,
happiness,
everyone,
happiness.
everyone who's currently smoking or vaping, you can put that thing down right now. You can make a commitment right now and put that down or throw it away and never have to go back to it again. Never have to create a reason. Make your reasons relating to the reasons I want to be healthy, happy, have a good relationship with friends, be into sports, do all the things that will actually give me a great quality of life. And you can say thank you for not smoking or vaping, like Norman just says, but you can say thank you for being healthy. Thank you for giving me pure oxygen. Thank you for your commitment in your life to make others' lives better. And remember one important thing: when you never smoke or never vape, never pick it up, never get influenced by your friends or school students or anything like that, or the tobacco companies or any of that stuff, you are a true hero. So if you want to be a hero, and we've seen heroes, Spider-Man and other heroes in movies, if you really want to truly be a hero, every one of you kids, every one of you adults, you could be just like Spider-Man and Superman. You
or
could
a
be a
tennis player.
yes. The
Wow.
Julian is a hero. He's got that sword. He is a hero because he will fight. He will fight and kill that tobacco no matter what. But remember, every one of you who do not pick up a cigarette or vape, you are the true heroes in the world. You are so powerful. You are so amazing. You are so awesome. And you will be the leaders in giving everyone in the world the best, happiest, healthiest life they can have. So you are the heroes. And any one of you who vape or smoke right now, throw it away. Get rid of it.
Yeah, get
Don't
it
let
out.
it control you. You control your mind, and you realize just even with a few days of none of that poison in your body, you'll see how healthy you are. Because I want you to be a hero, because I'm a hero. Caroline's a hero. Julian's a hero. And there are many more heroes out there. And so it's time for you to become one
And
of those.
and I also want to let you know I got a slogan for you guys. Remember this: it's ash to cash. You know what?
Ash.
I've used this very often to people. How you when you smoke, you're taking your money, your cash to ash. Yeah. So now you're
To
going to
ash.
take
Oh
back.
yes.
Now you're going to take the ash and make it to cash. So how are you going to
Ash
make
to
the
cash.
ash?
Wow.
How are you going to make the ash to cash? This is how you do it. Ash means always smoking heavy. And now you're going to put a C there. That C is called change a smoking habit cash. So if you change a smoking habit, you get your cash back. Cool.
Well, it's true. It's true because look at the price of the vaping, chemicals. Look at the price of a pack of cigarettes these days. You know, when I was young, they were 35 cents a pack, and they were giving them out for free in restaurants, and they would even be giving them to students leaving the school. I mean, can you believe it? Tobacco companies were giving to cigarettes to students in school, and maybe that's happening with vaping now. But if you think about all the money you could save, all the cash you could save to use to buy something you want to buy, a nice car, a nice bicycle,
Even a nice house in
nice
years to come.
house, or some good clothes, or food, even food. Some people will starve themselves because they are a slave to tobacco, a slave to nicotine. And it's about time that you save money, you make wise choices and healthy choices in your life. Because just stopping, if you're a pack or two smoker a day, think of all the money you save in 1 year, Julian. Do you have any idea how much money that could be?
Yeah, in Malaysia, we would save about 500 ringgit a month, and that can be a down payment for a car, like a Myvi or something, you know. And with 500 ringgit, you can pay off some debts. You can do a lot more, give a good meal, or buy something nice for your family. But why take that, put it in your mouth, kill your body, and do everything that's needed, to sustain a habit? After all, let me tell you something. That love you have for cigarette is still dried leaves wrapped in tobacco, tobacco wrapped in dried leaves wrapped in a paper. How can it be your greatest lover? How can you be taking it out every day somewhere, holding her in the fingers, and can you imagine, you got to, you can't even go out anywhere. You must always have that cigarette with you. You must always go out and have fresh air and effect, which doesn't make any sense, and all those things. And some people say effect. In today's world, they say, do you smoke? No, I don't smoke anymore. Ask the second question, do you vape? And they vape. So also do notice that, vaping has become, I call it, the new trend. Yes. And smoking has also been a downplay simply because of global warming. There's a lot of tobacco farms that are slowly closing down. So there's a big danger coming in legal weeds, and we're also seeing now weed cigarettes coming in to play. So children out there, parents out there, watch your children's life, watch your teenagers' life, because you have looked after them from babies to now, and as parents, your leadership by example is very important. You cannot say you're working in office and have no idea what your kids are doing. You need to know who are your kids' friends. You need to know what are they being influenced with, and that's very, very important. As Tom has told you just now, you know, if you have a sick family, everybody in your house is also affected.
Yeah, and Julian, we both know, and you all know this out there, that your cigarette smoke that you blow out after you puff it in, or that vape, might give your children or people around you cancer, might kill them. Now, I have a new motto, a new slogan I just thought of, because of yours is so fantastic. And here's mine: tobacco, go,
Yeah,
tobacco,
go,
go, tobacco, go, now,
go, go,
tobacco.
go,
Yeah, I love that.
yeah,
Tobacco.
go away
Vape,
instantly,
go.
automatically,
Yeah,
go.
like when like somebody that you don't like or whatever, or somebody says to you, "Go." Why don't you just go? Tobacco.
Tobacco.
And the other thing, we were talking about the workplace. How many people go to work? And you should listen to this, business owners, entrepreneurs. How many people go to work and all they're thinking about is smoking that cigarette? And then every time they're taking a break, they're going out to the back and smoking a cigarette. And how many hours in an 8 hour day is wasted because their mind isn't focused on doing the job and doing the best they can be. Their mind is focused on going and smoking a cigarette or vaping. Now they take breaks every 15 minutes, half hour to go out and vape. So all of that time wasted costs companies and corporations and businesses, big and small, billions of dollars. And it wastes your time too, because you'll sacrifice going and doing sports, watching your children do sports, doing engaging in family activity, because you're constantly walking away and smoking that darn poisonous cigarette or vaping that darn poisonous vape chemical. So if you really want to have a quality of life and be the best you can be in everywhere and save your life and your family's life, tobacco.
Yeah, I would like to say one more thing now. I know we've been giving a lot of those advice here, but young children, the beauty of being young is the energy you have, the creativity you have, the the things you could do. And this is the most beautiful moment in your life. This is the time where you have everything in you, and your expression is wonderful. Don't lose that expression. Don't lose that creativity. Don't lose the joy and energy of your youth. No one should take it away from you, not even the cigarette companies, not anybody. This is the best time in your life, you know. And I really hope, that you have that amazing critical focus to do it. I'm going to tell you just before Tom works on you on his quit smoking to help you. I'm going to tell you a story. Yeah, and this story, I know I'm promoting Malaysia. In Malaysia, there's this island they call it Enchanting Langkawi Island. Well, it goes like this: all the gods got together for their annual conference, World No Tobacco Day, in Langkawi. And so they got together and they sat down and discussed. And the topic was again the same thing. Men, men means men and women, were again destroying their life. The beautiful life that God created for them, they are destroying it by polluting their lungs, doing all kinds of drugs, alcohol, smoking, everything. They were doing it. And they were using the amazing wisdom that God has given them. Instead of creating better things in their life, they want to create all these destructive things in their lives. And so they have been consuming it, and all the gods decided, you know what, we should get rid of this wisdom, we should take it away from men. So they said, okay, how shall we do this? So they said, we'll take wisdom away from men and we'll hide it in the center of the earth. And they all thought about it, and then they said, no way. Man is so smart. I'm sure he'll find a way to go down to the center of the earth and pull out wisdom again. Then another god said, uh, let's go and take wisdom and throw it in the center or in the deepest ocean. And the god said, no way. Look, 80 years ago, they have already found the Titanic. I'm sure they'll find wisdom again. So finally, one god thought about it and he said, I know what. We will take wisdom and put it inside man so that they never know it's there. So this is exactly why I brought up in when I do cigarette slayer, this sword. It's not just a sword. This sword represents wisdom. If you ask any smoker what is their biggest complaint, they will say, I don't have the willpower. You have a good friend called willpower, which you can, if you go in and summon it out, that wisdom, that critical thinking, you will have the willpower to pull out that sword to become the cigarette slayer, so that anybody who says, sorry if it's the lighting is not, anybody who offers you a cigarette or you're at any one time, you can be the cigarette slayer. because you have enough wisdom, you have enough will to have a world class commitment for your health. Tom,
Okay, that was well stated, Julian. Very true. Willpower. We're the ones that make that decision if I want to put that poison in my body or if I want to, not do it, say no. So that is wisdom. Now let's try a little technique. Everyone, if you're smoking or vaping, now's the time to throw it away, to delete it out of your mind, to remove it out of your subconscious hard drive, and to become totally free, strong, powerful superhero because you can do it. Say that right now. I can do it. And I'm going to do it right
I
now.
can do it
And I'm going to do it right now. Say that, Julie.
right now. I can do
Okay.
it right now.
So let's do this. Everyone who is smoking, vaping, make a commitment. Today's World No Tobacco, No Vape Day. Today's the day to not just save your life, but to have the best life. So I want you to place your hands on your lap. I want you just to close your eyes. Can we do a full screen on me right now, Caroline, please? Okay, so I want you, this one big full screen, good. Okay, so I want you to look down at your hands and think to yourself, today I stop. Today I become a true superhero. So I want you to close your eyes, rest your hands on your lap, take 3 slow, deep breaths in and out right now. Take 1. Exhale. Take 2. Exhale. Take 3. Exhale. So I want you to make a contract, a commitment to yourself right now that today I become free of tobacco or vape. With your eyes closed, I want you to say out loud, I make my life change right now. Say that. I make my life change right now. So keep your eyes closed. Lift your left hand up into the air, all the way up into the air. Open your eyes, look at that hand, and imagine that you have that vaping thing, that vaping smoking thing, or that pack of cigarettes, that last pack of that poison in your left hand. Look at your left hand. And when I count to 3, I want you to take your hand and I want you to throw it away. I want you to remove it out of your mind and out of your body. Look at your hand, close your eyes, and a count of 3. I want you to throw it away, and I want you to think and say the words, deleted forever. Okay, move your hand back with your eyes closed. On the count of 3, I want you to throw it out of your life. Throw it out of your life. 1, 2, 3. Throw it away. Delete forever. Let your hand drop down. Good. Now I want you to relax your body with your eyes closed. And I want you to think of what Julian said. Willpower. I have willpower. I have wisdom. And I want you to lift your other hand all the way up into the air, your right hand all the way up into the air. And I want you to think of the word freedom, what that means to you. Freedom of the poison of cigarettes. And when I say freedom now, let your hand drop down instantly onto your lap. Freedom now. And I want you to realize right now that you have made a choice. Open your eyes. I have made a choice right now that I am free, I am healthy, I am happy, I have willpower, and I now change my life. Okay, now you have given yourself this commitment. You have become a superhero. Say that. I am a superhero. Because cigarettes are trash and poison. And I am now free to be the best I can be. Okay, come on back, you guys. You have just made a switch. Give yourselves an applause.
Tom,
Freedom.
Tom, can can you show us how good your lungs is?
My lungs.
Yes, show me how good
Everyone
your
breathe
lungs. Come
in.
on, bring out the
Feel the
saxophone. Bring
air.
out the saxophone.
Show
Yeah.
us your willpower and your lungs.
Power in your lungs. I will
Yeah.
show you my power in my lungs.
Yeah. Show you how good is your lungs.
71 years old. 71 years young. Free. Free of tobacco and free. And here you go.
Well done, man.
Look at that oxygen. I love oxygen.
Well, you
I
guys.
love air.
So
I
young
can't
people,
believe you're 71.
young
71 years
people, if you
old.
can have a good lungs, that's how it is. You can blow and hold it on for such a long time.
Good lungs, good energy, good immune system, good vitality. Everything comes to you when you say no,
Uh,
let it go.
let it go.
Let it go.
Let's all do that together. Let's say let it go. Every one of you watching, let's do that
Tobacco
together.
go.
Count of three. We'll just say let it go on the count of three.
Yes.
1,
1, 2,
2, 3. Let
let
it
it
Let
go.
it go.
go.
Let it
Go.
go.
Tobacco go. And never come
Tobacco.
back.
Go.
Go.
Yes. Go away, tobacco.
Uh, I love it. We've got all these superheroes out there, Julian.
Yes.
And superheroes, bring happiness to everyone else. Lung power. Here we go. Lung power. Lung power. Lung power. Lung power. Lung power. Lung power.
So this World No Tobacco Day, I hope you enjoyed the show. And I'm sure Tom, Caroline, we all enjoyed the show and enjoyed you guys watching us.
It was amazing.
Most important of all, please share this message to all your friends and make it a difference. Don't let the cigarette company get to you with influence. Don't let your influence affect your life and your health.
Well, if I was smoking cigarettes, here's how I'd play. But as a person who doesn't put poison in my body,
Amazing.
thank you, everyone.
There you are.
That's a lot of difference, and this is real demonstration.
All right. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
so thank you.
And thank you for saying, no, I let it go.
Thank you
So,
so much, Julian.
so
Thank you so
Ash
much.
to Cash,
Um,
and see you
and thank
next
you to
year.
everyone who has been listening with us, and thank you for your ideas and your sharing. Are we going to do more sessions like this, Julian?
Yes, we will. We will. We should work and make this world a better place.
Yeah,
Remember
let's
one
bring
thing.
lots of goodness and happiness.
Nobody can tell me what to do or fool me into that poison because I am smart, intelligent, I have willpower, and I have wisdom. And I love health.
Yes,
Yeah.
and do not let any mother's son or daughter ruin your lives. Do not put up. Think for your life, young people. It's your life. You got a long way to go.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
saw the video of Julian on the Wise Owl Talks. I think it
Yes,
was amazing.
yes,
Do go visit the channel as well.
yes.
It's
Wise
like a
Owl Talk
6 minute
channel.
video. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
amazing.
Yes, you'll see this. So thank you very much, and
Thank you.
have a good day,
Thank
and
you,
God
everyone,
bless.
for tuning in.
Thank you so
And
much,
thank
everyone,
you
and good
for
night.
being part of World
No,
No
too bad.
Tobacco Day.
World No Tobacco Day. Yes. And this was our topic. One, two, three. Quit smoking and vaping now. This is amazing. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And thank you, everyone, listening on to us. And we'll see you soon. Good night. Good morning, good night, wherever you are. And bye
Yeah,
for
from
now.
the
Cheers.
east,
Okay,
from the
good night
west.
on the side of the world to both of you because it's our
Yes,
morning.
yes.
Yep.
Good
Take
night.
Be
care.
there without
Bye.
smoke. Life is
Yes.
great.
Life is amazing.